We are back with candidate for mayor Michael Blake. So I want to learn a little bit more about you. So what does your typical day look like?
Not enough sleep.
What's your ideal day, though?
The ideal day is start in the morning in devotion. I'm an associate pastor at Union Grove Missionary Baptist Church, so always in prayer, checking in on the family, whether it be Lord's Prayer with mama or checking in on the wife and girls and making sure everybody's okay and there. And then it's just running around the city to give a vision of what we want to make happen. So whether it be at 3rd Avenue, 149th Street, whether it be at Jamaica Parsons in Queens, whether it be out in Tompkins, in central Brooklyn, we're making those rounds. There's a forum, there's a debate, there's an interview.
That can't be your ideal day.
I mean, look, if you're running for mayor, then you have to embrace it. That is the ideal day, But if I get to take a break, my ideal day would be watching the Knicks or the Yankees, depending on the season, which the Knicks are rolling right now. And I think the cat trade was fantastic, quite frankly. If I really get to have some time, I love comedy clubs or live jazz. That's my mental break from it all. I love sports and culture, and so that brings a smile to the face. Or just some good oxtail, because I'm Jamaican. So, some oxtail, some rice and peas always makes me happy right there.
I love that. So I think you could agree that President Trump is pretty media savvy. I wonder if you think there's anything that can be learned from that, and if there's anything that the Democrats and your party can learn from that.
He is consistent in driving home a message even when it's a lie. And you have to be clear in your messaging and in your points. And so when people ask me, well, why are you running for mayor? And I say very clearly, we pay too much, we get back too little, we deserve more, we deserve better, we deserve the best. Drill home a message. Donald Trump, similarly President Obama, similarly President Clinton, similarly President Reagan, they were excellent at communicating a message. And for their side, it's a message of hope and inspiration. Their side is actually excited about this. And so for us, you have to give people a clear message that is hopeful and actually say not just that they're bad, but tell them why you're good.
So do you think the Democrats have come up with that message yet?
Not yet, which is why we're still in the situation that we're in, that people understand that there's challenges coming from D.C. What they want to understand, though, is what is our plan? What is our counter? What is our strategy? And for us locally, we have to say, yes, I understand you're seeing all that's happening in D.C., but my plan here is how to help you. I'm going to help you have true public safety and reduce crime. I'm going to help you have an affordable home. I'm going to help you with your kids going to school. That's how you help people feel better in what's happening right now, and we need to get better at communicating that.
So what advice would you give New Yorkers who possibly could be feeling some anxiety about what's coming out of Washington right now?
That we're resilient, that we are New Yorkers who overcame 9/11, that we got through COVID. We have overcome what happened with Superstorm Sandy. We have seen challenges before. And as someone who was born with a heart murmur myself, who fell asleep at the wheel in 2001, had a near fatal accident, every day that we get above ground is a blessing. And so no matter where you live across the city, to stay hopeful that we can get through this and we will get through this. And I understand that you may be exhausted and tired and frustrated, but our job has to now be, how do we say very clearly that tomorrow begins today?
So who's the funniest person you know?
Oh, that's a good question. My mom was pretty hilarious. She has great one-liners, but I was actually Jason Wright. So Jason Wright, my college roommate, former president of the Washington Commanders, he is the smart dork funny who always has incredible one-liners. So I got to say it's got to be Jason right now.
So is there any one thing that you had to learn the hard way?
Oh, mercy. I mean, look, the people will let you down from time to time that you think won't. That's hard, right? That gets very tough when you think people will be there for you, especially during some of the dark moments. I lost my dad in 2013. My mom has beaten cancer twice. Everyone wants to know that people are going to be with you all the time, and that's the hardest. So
do you feel that your education prepared you for real life?
Oh, of course. And it's always amazing when people say that, like, public school K through 12, PS 79, 118, DeWitt Clinton, graduated in honors from Northwestern University, and allowed me to then get trained by President Obama, work in the White House, and then come back home. So it definitely prepared me for real life.
So, off the top of your head, what would you do about some of these empty storefronts that seem to be all over the city? And how would you attract businesses to come and fill those storefronts?
You have to address the consistent public safety concerns. of people being very frustrated that their windows could get bashed out and that you don't have enough police patrol to protect. If we had the opportunity for police to be able to street patrol regularly and safely, but then let mental health professionals address what's happening in the trains, then you can actually create a safer environment for individuals. And then second, you have to actually provide grants and faster funding to small businesses as well as nonprofits. The city is regularly asking people to do a lot of work, and they're making it harder for them. If we make it easier for someone that is figuring out profit and loss, rather than them losing time by waiting on the city, do those two things, and small business will be more supported in the city.
So you're a big sports fan.
I am.
What's your Super Bowl food of choice?
Well, if you do some dry rub ribs, you know, that's always pretty incredible around Super Bowl time.
It's got to be dry rub.
Yeah, because you think, like, it's always going to be messy with everything else, right? Like, you're going to have, you know, nachos and other things like that. But dry rub, because then I can get focused. I can lock in on the entertainment and halftime show. I can get back to the game. Clearly, you could tell that I've thought about this a lot in terms of how I think about. But yeah, dry rub, because otherwise it gets really messy. You're interacting with a lot of people. You have limited time. You got to focus on that.
I like dry rub myself.
There we go.
So if you were going to play tour guide in New York City,
Yeah.
for friends or relatives or somebody coming in from out of town, what would be the 3 places that you'd like to take them?
Got to get out to Astoria. 30th Ave might be the best restaurant row in the city.
It's terrific, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible when you think about the food that you can have there, especially seafood and Mediterranean.
I mean, but all kinds of food.
The energy is immaculate. So you got to do that.
So that's one.
That's one. I love going out to Tompkins Avenue in Brooklyn on Sundays, especially when it's warm outside, because the energy on the street is incredible that you can't really look over.
That's 2.
And then I'm going to do a combined one if that's all right.
Absolutely.
So if you go from essentially north part of Harlem, so if you're by like Ponte Bistro and the African restaurants, and you go slightly north to the South Bronx, you have a row of immigrant entrepreneur restaurants that are pretty incredible for about a 20-block radius.
That sounds wonderful. Michael Blake, we wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you at home for joining us as well.